Welcome to WeLearn, Virtual Learning Network. This is session number 1, Introduction to Performance Management. Topics which we are going to cover in this session are Introduction, Evolution of Performance Management, Aims of Performance Management, Purpose of Performance Management, Basic Principles of Performance Management, Performance Management and its dimensions, neglected dimensions of performance management, and role of appraisal in performance management. Next is introduction. The process of identifying, evaluating, and developing the work performance of employees in order to achieve the goals and objectives of an organization is called the performance management. Effective performance management is designed to identify performance requirement, enhancing performance, provide feedback relevant to those requirements, and assist with career development. Performance management is a strategic and integrated process that delivers sustained success to organization by improving the performance of the people who work in them and by developing the capabilities of individual contributors and teams. This unit introduces you to this purpose. In the earlier semesters, we have learned about performance management as a function in the course of HRM. This is the course we will study in detail after aspects of performance management. Until the mid-80s, the performance management system of most companies were limited to manage the company as an ongoing enterprise and achieving the targeted net profit of the organization. Shareholders were not given such importance. Eventually, employee remuneration took the form of salary and bonus were considered as a short-time earning. In the late 70s, Alfred Rappaport and Joel Stern pointed out that creation of shareholder value had an impact on the way companies were managed. Value-based management was the name given to this approach of performance management. Value-based management is a structured approach to measure the performance of the firm's unit managers or products in terms of the net benefit they provide to shareholders. The main idea behind VBM was to align the company's measurement system with economic value creation, which was not possible with traditional accounting based system. The aim of the early system was to ensure that the measurement system fully took into account the cost of capital that is tied up in the business. The idea of managing performance both at an individual and organizational level is an old concept. The origin of this concept can be tracked back by the 1950s, a decade that involved personality-based appraisals. This is the diagram which shows the evolution of performance management. This particular diagram is called as the continuum diagram depicts the evolution of performance management. It was developed by the Hay Group in early 90s. The application of the continuum diagram are: it encourages organizations to diagnose the state of development of their current performance management practice. It allows sponsors which initiates to map their appreciation for changing this process and also think about the challenges they face along the way. Next are the aims of performance management. One of the important objective of performance management is identifying the strength and weakness of employee and finding way to overcome their shortcomings. This is done by evaluating employee output and the company's overall ability to meet the goals by having quarterly or annual audits. Often, after an evolution, there will be widespread company meetings where managers and employees discuss concern and solution to problems. Another objective is to discover where employee and the company are falling short. This is done by going through details such as profit earned, new clients acquired, and the contribution of employees to make these things happen. Employees whose contributions are minimal or not up to the mark are counseled on how to improve performance. The evaluation of an employee performance is based on their work output and the amount of time spent by them on the project. The aim of performance management are to assist in the achievement of enhanced standards of work performance of an employee or class of the employees. To assist employees to identify the knowledge and skills to perform their job efficiently. To ensure that the employee work towards the defined goals. To ensure that the employee receive regular feedback on performance. To evaluate the company and its ability to set and reach goals. Next are the purpose of performance management. The aim of the performance management strategy is to provide the means through which better results can be obtained from the individual, teams, and the organizations by understanding and managing performance. Performance management involves the development of processes for establishing a shared understanding of the goal that has to be achieved and an approach to manage and develop people in a way that the probability of achieving the goal is increased. The purpose of performance management can be broadly classified into number 1, driving results. The purpose of performance management is to drive improvement in business results through individual, group, and enterprise goal alignment, measurement, performance coaching, and performance information sharing. The second one is building capabilities. Performance management drives organizational and individual capability development by clarifying role specific goals and competencies, creating an environment of constructive feedback, and using formal developmental coaching or mentoring. Growth talent. Another important purpose of performance management is to motivate and retain high performance by providing career development programs that include motivation and reward strategies, challenging work assignments, and other on the job learning initiatives that will lead to career advancement and job satisfaction. A performance management process for identifying and rewarding talent is developed to assess performance. The result of these assessments can be used to make decisions involving work assignments, career advancement, and recognition. Next are the basic principles of performance management. The first one is effective organization need effective performance management. Organizational effectiveness is not possible without performance management. Performance management helps to achieve the following. Number 1, to facilitate the integration of individual and organizational objectives and values and develop a performance oriented culture. The second one is to identify and meet individual development needs and to identify those employees with a good growth potential. Second is performance management deals with performance across the entire range from A to Z. Performance management is often misunderstood to be as a device that deals with difficult people at point A of the scale. Manager's ability to deliver has an impact on performance management. Effective performance management needs managers who not only have an open and honest management style, but who also provide support and direction through recognition that appraisal, is not about supervision, but is more concerned with helping individuals strategic goals for themselves that are consistent with those of the organization. Performance management involves thinking through various aspects of performance, identifying the critical dimensions of performance, planning, reviewing, developing, and enhancing performance and related competencies. Performance has many dimensions: output or result dimensions, input dimension, time dimension, focus dimension, quality dimension, cost dimension. Neglected dimensions of performance management. Performance management in the past was limited to individuals. It was considered that it is each individual's business to be a good performer. The role played by the boss or the subordinate in determining performance was completely ignored. The cumulative performance of an employee and his superior together is called as dyadic performance. The term dyad is used to present the two with equal status. The team working of a department is expected to deliver some results. Similarly, each dyad is expected to provide certain input and deliver certain results. In organizations, a manager and their boss together constitute a dyad and have some responsibility to provide inputs. As dyadic performance contributes substantially to an individual's performance, it deserves some attention. There are two ways of measuring dyadic performance. Outcome measures take into consideration and situational variations and are based on assumptions and processes. Measures essentially deal with interpersonal process. They include the extent to which each person is a source of motivation to the other person, the extent to which joint effort yield results that are higher than the sum of individual efforts, and the extent to which there is maturity, help, and learning. A measure of dyadic performance. The following items of a questionnaire are used to measure dyadic performance. I enjoy working with this person. He provides me the guidance and support required to do my job well. He provides the information and support required to do my job well. He's a great motivator. I feel motivated to work with him. He gives me feedback that is empowering. He complements and supplements my own efforts. Role of appraisal in performance management. Performance appraisal is the assessment at regular intervals of an employee performance at work. Appraisals are a part of performance management. Performance management is a continuous process while appraisal are periodic activities. Appraisal is a static process, whereas performance management is a dynamic process. It is the management involves improvement. The moment of an organization is assessed to determine whether it stands there in an appraisal taking place. Managing an organization becomes difficult without some form of appraisals. Appraisals are not reducing the performance of individual and dyads or teams to a 5-point scale or a number. It is the reduction of annual performance into a number of equating one number with another. Since appraisal scales are not calibrated and equated, the number generated from the appraisal process are not comparable across functions, levels, department, and organization. Some organizations use liberal scales, some use conservative scales, and some use no scales but merely feelings. Performance appraisal should lead to increased performance. However, in most organizations, performance appraisals have led to decreased performance. This is because of demotivation. When appraisals are linked to reward and when fewer people are rewarded than those expecting them, those who are not rewarded get demotivated. If those who expect to be rewarded exceed the number of those who actually get reward, the net outcome of performance appraisal may be negative. If people continue to perform in spite of appraisals and they do not have a positive attitude to appraisal, then the organization is spending more psychological energy. Now, in the last, there are a few questions which are based on this session. First one is the process of identifying, evaluating, and developing the work performance of employee in order to achieve the goal and objective of an organization is called as. The answer is performance management. Dash approach pointed out that creation of shareholder value had an impact on the way companies were managed. Dyadic. An employee performance is based on their dash and dash. Knowledge and skills. That's all for the session. Thank you. Happy learning. We learn.